Hi everybody, Jay Nano of Alamo True Metal back here with the guys in Waxpanel for part 2 of our interview today, celebrating the release of For Those Left Standing, their debut full length that came out last Friday on February 22nd, here with Micah, Chris, and Steve on drums. We were just talking about, of course, the full length and some of the songs that went into it. And Steve, we didn't get to your favorite, so do you have a particular favorite on the album that you can get right now, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff? Go check it out.
Yeah, I tell you, for me, when it comes to picking a favorite song, it really has to do with like the experience I have on stage, like playing it,
Sure.
I guess. And I think everybody would expect me to pick the song I wrote, which is You Don't Say. That is fun to play, but there's something about the energy and everything that comes in when we play Dying Inside. Mm-hmm. That makes it my favorite. I don't know, it's not because there's anything flashy or crazy on the drums, you know, it's not me showcasing anything, but when we play it, there's a big grooving, like, you know, it's an amazing energy that I can't explain it. Yeah, and it's so that makes it my favorite song on the album. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
actually, that's what they're pushing right now.
So what would you tell people out there that, of course, they're going to be new to Waxpanel or haven't heard you or beyond San Antonio? Like we talked about in part 1, Waxpanel is kind of described as a Christian modern grunge band, but in your own words, is there something more to that? Is there something that you would want to... Because I read a quote from you where you said somebody came up to you one time and said, "Oh, you guys sound like Static X," and you were like, where did that come from? So you don't want any misconceptions about what Waxpanel sounds like and the message that you're trying to get out. So in your own words, how do you guys, not necessarily comparing to a specific band, but how would you describe the evolution of your sound?
Okay, well, first of all, to kind of clear that one up, what you said, the Static X quote came from, I actually had somebody approach me after a show one time, and they said, he was so excited, you know, and he was like, you could tell a metalhead, and he was just so excited. He's like, "Man, I love your band. You guys remind me so much of Static X," and it caught me off guard because I think that band's awesome. They have some great riffs and whatnot, but that's just not how I would describe Waxpanel. Sure. But I saw the excitement in his face when we talked about it. I was like, we want to go with that with somebody. Maybe somebody says, "Hey, you guys sound like whatever," and we might not agree with it. But if that person's really excited, at least that grabbed them. You know what I mean? That caught their attention somehow, and they can relate to that. As far as how we would describe our band, or I would describe it, I would say we've always just said, Steve coined the phrase and came up with modern grunge, you know. So we're Christians first, so we decided to say, well, Christian modern grunge alternative. We weren't part of the 90s wave, obviously, or the post-grunge right after that. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to do a new wave, if you will, like that. So, and the 90s were a melting pot of sounds. Right. So, I don't know, it's the best way we can kind of describe it.
You're looking for a lot of inspiration, I guess, in Oasis and Goo Goo Dolls and that style, and Nirvana, you know.
Yeah, it really was influenced in the very beginning with like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, those kinds of bands, and then we've kind of put other things in there as time has gone.
Sure. Well, amongst all the songs and the riffs and the messages on the album, of course, there's a couple of children's voices on there, and Captain, a little, I don't know if you want to call it an interlude or what, called Captain Seabiscuits.
I told you.
Where I know at least one, maybe 2 of your kids are on the album, so tell me the story behind Captain Seabiscuits, and why are they afraid of people? That's what I want to know.
Why biscuits are afraid of people?
Oh, man.
They're delicious, man.
So, yeah, we decided when we were recording the album that we wanted to just do like these weird musical interludes. And Steve came up with one, which will be on the second album.
Yes, it will.
Oh, yeah.
And I think his was called The Ballad of the Irritable Sand Camel or something like that. Something weird. And we had extra time, so like it's awesome in the studio. You have access to all this stuff, so we just started layering this really thing, you know, weird musical piece. Well, mine was more simple, so it was just a couple of guitar tracks. And my son was there, and so we thought, well, let's throw him into the mix, and it just came out like that. And so it's actually a track listing, which in the future we might want to just put it in there, sneak it in there, because it definitely catches people's attention. And, you know, we're talking about it every single time. Not that that's bad, but yeah, the engineer got him to overdub all kinds of different things. So it's just my son Barrett, and so they have I mean, I guess you're a biscuit, you're afraid of people. You get eaten.
And you get on cars.
And it's the mind of an 8-year-old, so he said, just say something funny, and that's what he came up with. So.
It is fun when you're
Very cool. Well, obviously we're in the rehearsal space of Waxpanel here in downtown San Antonio, so close to downtown. So for all you equipment junkies out there, we're going to have the guys break down what they like to use on stage. Michael, why don't we start with you for your guitar of choice?
All right.
Mike is vocalist and guitarist. Take it away.
So yes, thank you so much. This is my new Gibson Blueberry Burst. So it's actually it was a 2017 model. It was used, but it's like flawless. So I just recently got it from Guitar Center. I have a couple more Les Pauls, and I've only played with Gibson Les Pauls my entire music career. So for the last I have one in my house is 98 and got it at Hermes, which is no longer, it's Guitar Center now.
Okay.
But anyways, I've only played on Gibson Les Pauls, and then I have a Marshall half stack over there, and I've only played on Marshalls the entire time. That JCM 2000 is from 98. So for the last almost 20 years, I've had my certain Marshall tone and my guitar tone established, and I'm not. So if you're listening, Marshall and Gibson, there you go. Constantly there with you.
Very cool.
So
Fletch on bass.
Yeah, man. You know, I gotta say, Gibson's been around. They're made in the USA, man. There's just something special about them. So this is my Gibson Thunderbird. I just picked it up, and within about 3 hours, I put a big old nick on it. So it was flawless. But as far as bass, this is my smaller amp, but it's an Ampeg. You can't go wrong with Ampeg. I mean, it's just they're standard. I will never play on anything else but Ampeg, and definitely now Gibson. I have a special Ibanez in here that I love. Something about it just plays great. But I've switched over to Gibson, so this may become a wall hanger at my house, or I play it at my house. I may take it out occasionally. It's good for heavy stuff, but Ampeg and Gibson for sure.
All right, we got some Sabian cymbals here for Steve.
Yeah, we do.
Take it away on your kid.
Absolutely, man. I love Sabians. I've been playing on them. Well, let's see. I've been drumming for about 12 years now, I think. So yeah, ever since I switched to Sabians, maybe like 10 years ago or so, that's all I play. I mean, they don't break. I beat them so hard. I play Vic Firth Extreme 5As, so it's a lighter stick. And I got it because I used to play 5Bs and I broke all of my cymbals. And nothing against Zildjian, but so many ended up in a trash can. Anyways, sorry Muskrat if you're going to watch this. So the kit itself, I'm a huge fan of this. It's P. Ellis out of Austin, Texas. Now, he doesn't do it anymore, unfortunately. But he is a custom kit maker. He makes for bigger companies. And he was like one day, you know, I make all these kits for everybody else, so try making them for myself. Mm-hmm. So he started putting these together. I absolutely love the kick sound, the tone of the drums all together. It's a full 100% maple and mahogany blend. It's just layered really well. I mean, there's so much meat in it. You know, really nice fatness. I play Remo heads, and I play DW double kick pedals, 9000s, because I mean that's the standard. You just why play anything else?
Awesome. Awesome.
But yeah, man.
Well, we are in the rehearsal space, so I'm going to put you guys on the spot. But before we get out of your hair, is it all right if we take note of maybe one song or so before, after we wrap up the interview, and just go ahead and film a song or something?
Yeah.
yeah, we'd have to get set up.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
We're in no hurry as long as you guys aren't in a hurry.
Okay.
Maybe even if you take a request, we'll give you a request.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man.
Well, awesome. Well, the guys at Waxpanel have been great. Go check out their album For Those Left Standing on Pavement Entertainment. Came out February 22nd. To wrap it up, guys, tell the fans out there what they should know about the album, what you would tell them for somebody who is hearing about Waxpanel for the very first time through this Alamo True Metal interview. Last words for people out there that are going to come to know about Waxpanel, as well as the guys and girls who have been with you from the beginning.
I'd say that thank you so much for your love and support over the years to all of our current family, fans and friends that have been with us on this journey. For Those Left Standing was released last week via Pavement Entertainment. You can get that online. Just do a Waxpanel music search. You can get on iTunes, Amazon, all those places. We love you and we truly appreciate you. If you're going through anything, want to talk to us, reach out on our social media, right, guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're all,
To God be the glory.
yeah, to God
Yeah.
be the glory. It's only the beginning. And
Don't be afraid to send us questions. We're always around, always available to talk to people. If we're at shows and you're there, want to come talk to us about Jesus or the music, or we're also available for that. We'll have a merch store coming up with more updated things, and we'll have a physical release for the album eventually in the future that we can also purchase. So, yeah, there's a lot coming, and I think that's the coolest part. That's what we're excited
Yes.
about. There's a lot coming still, and it's only the beginning.
Awesome. Can't wait to see you guys live going forward. And you're already talking about second album, so
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the music that's coming in the future.
Yes.
Waxpanel, go check them out from deep in the heart of Texas here in San Antonio. So for Micah, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Awesome
So
to
much.
have
God bless
you.
you, brother.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much,
it.
Fletch.
Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
Always good to see you, Steve.
Definitely.
Thank you, brother.
Check out, and we're gonna film some rehearsal footage here as well. So look for it all on Alamo True Metal. So for the guys in Waxpanel, this is Jay Nanda of Alamo True Metal. Reminding you, don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.
Awesome.